Congratulations, you made it halfway through this very momentous year. And true to form of 2025, July is going to be dramatic and have some lovely spots as well. Hello, I'm Kari Samuels, your intuitive counselor and happiness coach with your July forecast. And before we get into the astrology of the month, which has a very big transit happening, I want to put in perspective for you why this year has been so challenging in so many ways and so disruptive. I've said this before, I'll probably say it all this year and through next year, but because every single planet is changing signs this year, we have disruption, newness, change, letting go in every aspect of our collective lives and your personal life. When planets change signs, they change where they are connecting with you in your birth chart, activating new archetypes, letting go of old ones, and that's why you may feel that things that you were once so passionate about, you no longer feel that connection. And you may be emerging with new passions. This is a month full of passion and full of love. That is the sweetest part of this month. Venus is active all month long. Venus rules, which means that love rules. But you're also going to be rediscovering passions and what lights up your heart. And you're really also going to have some revelations about what is no longer appropriate for your life. There will be surprises this month, some shocks. I say that because of our astrology, because the planet Uranus is changing signs this month, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But I also want to talk about the numerology, because when I look at the astrology, it's always synchronized somehow with the numerology in very astounding ways, and the numerology really helps you put everything in perspective. July 2025 is a 16 universal month. We get this by adding 7, which is the month that we're in. We're in the 7th month, to 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, which is a 9 universal year. So 7 plus 9 is 16. In numerology, 16 is a karmic lesson number. 16 teaches you to listen to your intuition. And one of the biggest ways you learn to trust and listen to your intuition is when it goes awry. Not that your intuition will ever lead you astray. It's those moments where you didn't listen to your intuition, where you've been getting clues and your subconscious is picking up on things, and your dreams or your feelings are telling you something, and your mind, your conscious mind, talks you into things. It's when your personality, your physical being, is not listening to the spiritual being of you, and that disconnect happens, right? And so during a 16 universal month is when your spirit gives you a wake-up call. And this is going to happen in the world. I believe there will be some revelations, some surprises, and sometimes very shocking ones, depending on how well we've been listening. And as I look at the world right now, and the world is really insane in so many ways, and people are going about their lives as if maybe nothing's happening. There's a word for that. It's called hypernormalization. It's like everything out here is so crazy and you're trying to just be normal, and that gap in some ways is unsustainable. Like you're moving through your life and like trying to act like everything is normal. It's not. We're not in normal times. And it's going to continue to be really, I keep using the word disruptive, but that's where we are. That's where we are. And in the tarot, you may know the 16th card as the Tower. And in the Tower card, you have lightning hitting the crown. There's an actual crown in the card that is, the lid is blown open. The crown is blown up. And there's people like falling from this tower. It's all very metaphorical. Everything in the tarot can seem a lot scarier than it is. This isn't to frighten you. When you have your crown blown open, that can be a really good thing. That's a revelation. That is when you're getting a wake-up call. And the tower is often of your own making. It's the walls that you build around yourself to protect yourself from the truth. And that is what this month is about. It's about really having a wake-up call so that you can connect with your truth, with the truth of our external circumstances, so that you can make different choices. Ultimately, it's for your liberation. And the Tower card, that lightning in the Tower card, is associated with the planet Uranus. Well, the magic and synchronicity of the universe just so has it that Uranus is changing signs this month. It only happens once every 7 to 8 years. And Uranus for the past 7 years has been in a sign it is very uncomfortable in. So first of all, let's talk about what Uranus is. It is an outer planet. In ancient astrology, in traditional astrology, we didn't know about this planet. Saturn was the last planet visible from our perspective. And Saturn is the boundary planet. And so when Uranus was discovered, it had a sense of pushing boundaries, going past what you thought was possible. And that is the energy of the planet. Even though it's a slow-moving outer planet, it has a quickening effect. And it's kind of eccentric. It's about being yourself and having the liberation that comes with being true to yourself. It's got a weird axis. It's a little sideways. It's just an odd planet that creates odd things for your liberation. This is Aquarius's modern ruler. And Aquarius is a sign which is all about individuality, being yourself, pushing boundaries, moving things forward. So Uranus has been in Taurus for 7 years. So you think about this planet of like wild quickening and awakening and forward progress and pushing boundaries in a sign that likes stability, grounding energy. It's been a weird combination. And also, for those of you who have Taurus strong in your chart, Uranus has been really connecting with those parts of your chart and causing all these awakenings and quickenings and sometimes shocking events. And so in the world, though, since Taurus rules money, it rules the planet, it rules the earth itself, there have been a lot of shakeups in our economy and stability. And so Uranus has been shaking up our finances. Cryptocurrency is a very Uranus and Taurus thing. And also earthquakes are a very Uranus and Taurus thing. Our finances, how we do finances, how we do real estate. And so Airbnb really came to the forefront during this time. And so really bringing freedom and independence and individuality in some ways, but also causing disruption in economy and how we really planetary things. And also bringing innovation in planetary technologies and green energy. So Uranus has been in Taurus for 7 years. When any planet changes signs, it's most powerful and dramatic in the beginning and at the end. When it's entering a sign at that 0 degree mark and when it's wrapping up at 29 degrees. So Uranus changes signs into Gemini on the 7th of this month. And up until that moment, when it's in its final degrees, there are going to be some shakeups in finances, in our economy, in global events, there's going to be some shakeups possibly in weather. I look at that Tower card and I see that lightning in connection with this Uranus energy, and there could definitely be travel delays, especially since Gemini, the sign it's moving into, is associated with transportation and communication. But fires, weird lightning events, weird weather events, it just seems like there's going to be a lot of dramatic shakeups. Also because Neptune is going retrograde on the 4th, right when Uranus is in its final degrees, its karmic degree of Taurus. So we also have Saturn going retrograde in Aries. So Neptune retrograde in Aries, Saturn retrograde in Aries, fire signs, and also Mercury going retrograde in Leo on the 17th, also a fire sign. So I'm looking at this lightning and this quickening, surprising energy, and also things having to do with communication and transportation. There could be blackouts, there could be definitely disruption in travel, weird weather events, fire. So just be aware that things will happen suddenly and quickly. Also because of fire and Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which is war, we can be a rekindling of aggression. And I don't know if you need to be a psychic or an astrologer to see some of that, but that's definitely in our astrology. So just be mindful, because so much of this is related to weather and travel and transportation. Mercury is transportation and communication. Be extra, extra, extra mindful. Leave some space in your calendar. Do things at a nice, steady pace if you can. I know here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer. And so if you do have travel, let it be restorative, and let it not be something where you're running around, and make sure you're leaving space. Also, with that 7 energy, it is associated with retreats and spiritual retreats. So it's actually a really good time for that. And like I said, Venus is very active all month, and Venus will want you to luxuriate and delight in love and beauty and romance and all the things that make life delicious. So it's a lot of everything. There's not a lot of connections with the planets this month. It's just there's a lot of coming and going. And when planets come and go, especially Neptune, which rules the seas, also delusions, right? And so because we have so much retrograding, there's a sense of waking up to things that you have been deluding yourself about, waking up to things that you have buried and not acknowledged. And because Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, which is all about the self and believing in yourself and pioneering and standing up for yourself, and Mercury's retrograding in Leo, which is also very self-oriented in a way that you're meant to shine your light really brightly and radiate your love and your creativity in very unabashed kind of ways. You're waking up to ways where you have maybe prohibited yourself, held yourself back. So with any retrograde or anything in life, the more conscious you are about making changes and being aware of things and making decisions and taking action, the more beautifully and harmoniously you will experience these transits. So if you are being true to yourself, if you are making your well-being a priority, if you are using your voice, if you are having the courage to try new things and dare to be yourself and dare to believe in yourself and in new and different and exciting ways, you can have an extraordinarily fantastic month. This can be a month that lights your heart on fire. And Mercury retrograde tends to bring up things from the past and ideas from the past. In Leo, it can bring up loves from the past, including passion projects. And maybe you have a dream about someone you used to love, romantically or otherwise, or they get back into your life. It's a way for you to reconnect with what it was that you were passionate about at that time. It's not necessarily like you're meant to be with that person or do that thing again. It's a way of you reconnecting with that part of you that felt very alive. So take stock of that. Take stock of the parts inside of you that feel really good. And also be very, very, very honest with yourself about the parts of you that do not, that you are not feeling the flame about someone or something anymore. A lot of people are making career changes right now. A lot of people are moving, and maybe that's you. Maybe you're feeling that inside of you, but your brain's like, oh no, I can't do that. Acknowledge that. Pay attention to that. That is what this month is about. And the more you acknowledge, the more you wake up inside of yourself and really believe in your ability to make change, really miracles can happen. So pay attention, act on your passions, and act on what's fizzling out. Pay attention to all of that. So Uranus in Gemini for the next 7 years. Well, here's what's happening actually. It's moving into this sign, this new sign, where it's in many ways more comfortable until November. And then it's going to retrograde and then eventually go back into Taurus for a little bit and then go into its like 7+ year journey. I think it's February of next year. What's happening this year, because this is a 9 personal year, which is all about endings and letting go and karmic culminations, we're getting all these planets moving into their new signs so we can like feel it out. It's like, okay, all right, this is what this is about. Ooh, I'm feeling something different. This is different. I used to like this and now I'm wanting to go in this direction. And so these planets heading into new signs are forcing you to let go of what's no longer appropriate for you, but they're also retrograding back into the previous signs where they've been for extended periods of time. And that's what this year is about. It's about like getting a taste of this new energy, getting a taste of your new archetypes, what your pioneering spirit is calling you towards, but then going back into where it's been comfortable. And again, Neptune and Saturn are starting that journey now. So you can really like kind of put one foot in and have one foot still like in what feels somewhat comfortable. And then next year is a 1 universal year, all new cycle, and then all the new planets and their new signs. Well, they're not new planets, we've had them for a while, but planets in these signs new for their extended duration as of next year. So this is a year of like endings and beginnings and all of that. And so that's what you're reevaluating now. Uranus in Gemini is going to bring so many innovations in communication and transportation and technology around that, especially since it's trine harmoniously connected to fellow air sign Pluto in Aquarius, which is also revolutionizing technology. And when Pluto first went into Aquarius, that's when we had this AI revolution. Well, connected with Uranus and Gemini, it's going to bring like mind-boggling technological advances, but also in ways that are very, I mean, how much do you want to take of this? Because Gemini is like a double-bodied sign, right? It's a sign of the twins. And the shadow side, it's like that whole deep fake thing is like, okay, is that real? Or is that, I don't even know anymore. What is the truth? I don't know the truth. So there's going to be a lot of everything. And stay grounded, stay mindful. It can bring some really fantastic advances in how we communicate and transport. And with everything comes the shadow. So just be mindful of that, and be mindful of the fact that it's going to be strongest in the next several months when this new energy is emerging. So we're going to see a lot. We're going to see a lot in terms of all the things. And again, this month is very Uranian in nature, which means that there will be sudden revelations or surprises. So there could be blackouts in energy as well, or ways we communicate or transport because of this coming and going. And again, Neptune retrograde can bring storms and things like that as well. Again, be mindful. Our lunations are very powerful this month. We have a very somewhat delightful full moon on the 10th. And the 24th is a new moon. Now, full moons always bring revelations and things coming full circle, and they're very emotional. And of course, we're going to be in the sun sign of Cancer at this time, and that brings up things related to your security, your emotional roots, your childhood. So this is going to be coming up for you as these revelations happen. You're going to be aware of your childhood patterns and what you do for security and ways that you compensate for not feeling secure emotionally. So there's all this coming up. And of course, we're in the sun sign of Cancer until the 22nd. So the 24th, we have this new moon in Leo. And it is connecting with all the outer planets, and especially our new moon, the moon and the sun are opposing almost exactly Pluto, which is the transformer, the one that brings up shadow things. Around that time, I feel like things are going to be culminating. And new moons are new by nature, right? They start new things. However, this one, because it's connecting with these outer planets and associated with Pluto, it has a full moon type of feeling. Like everything feels a little larger than life around it. And of course, it's Leo, which is dramatic and larger than life by nature. So just be mindful of these times and stay connected with yourself, stay connected to what's true to you, and stay out of drama, okay? Unless you're like dramatically passionate about someone or something, and that's a good kind of drama. However, stay out of external drama if you can. Now, with that said, I have 3 action steps to make the most of this very momentous month. Your first action step is to take time to connect with your spirit. Water is wonderful, especially during a 7 month, which 16 reduces to 7. This is connected to retreats, spiritual retreats, and you don't need to go somewhere for a spiritual retreat. It's just retreat into yourself. Retreat into the parts of you that feel good. Retreats into the part of yourself that is connected to something greater than yourself. Retreat into that part of yourself that makes you feel peaceful and yet alive and excited about life. Find ways to connect with that part of yourself every day. Find ways to nurture your spirit. Ask your spirit what they want every day. How can I nurture my spirit? What can I do? And sometimes that means rest. Sometimes that means recreation. Because Mercury is retrograde, there is that sense of retreat and tuning in. So whatever you can do to tune into your spirit will nourish you throughout the month. And your second action step is to connect with your higher self, because your higher self knows your plan, your life's plan. And the human self can be very confused right now. Like, what do I do next? Why is this happening? I don't understand. Always ask your higher self. You can actually visualize your higher self as like light, or like a channel between you and Great Spirit, the Creator. I have a meditation for free you can get. I'll share the link below if you want to connect with your higher self in this meditation. And that is something that you'll want to do as things, at least externally, are being all weird. And so as you connect with your higher self, you can ask, what is the higher purpose of this? Why is this happening? What am I meant to learn from this? And that's what this month is really about. What am I meant to learn? What am I meant to see? How can I look at things differently as part of my higher plan? Not what your ego wants, but your higher plan. Which brings us to action step number 3. Trust that there is a higher plan for everything. Uranus is actually the planet associated with your higher plan. And so you're going to have revelations about that this month. Sometimes through things not working out, and sometimes through breakthroughs and breakthrough consciousness and things that come to you, ideas that can come to you very quickly. That can be that lightning to the crown. Like, wow, open your mind, right? Blow your crown off, right? With this incredible revelation. So trust that whatever is happening in the world, in your life, that there's a higher plan, and always for your highest and best. Okay, so as things are happening, say, I know there's a higher plan. I'm going to connect with my higher self to know what that is, and to trust that even if I don't understand it all, that I know this is for my highest and best. Rejection is often protection. Things not working out is opening doors for better things for you. Just remember all this. Life is working for you. If you want to join me this month, I remind you again that I have my soul healing sessions that help you see your higher plan, help you connect with your intuition, your spirituality, and clear these family, ancestral, and karmic patterns. You can join me for just $1 trial. I'll leave the link for that below as well. That's at karisamuels.com/soul healing sessions. And remember that you are divinely guided and protected at every step. And with that, I wish you joy and love and so many blessings. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share it. It really helps other people find this so that I can share my message of love, which is part of my higher plan. I love you so much and have a joyful July and beyond. Lots of love. Bye for now.